Welcome to Peak TV. I'm Niv Dagan, Executive Director of Peak Asset Management, and we've got all the way from Kuala Lumpur, Ganesh Kumar, CEO of Netccentric. Ganesh, welcome.
Thank you, Niv. Thank you for having me here.
Now, Ganesh, we're big supporters, as you know. Tell us a little bit about, for people who don't know, about your background, because you're touted as the Bill Gates of Asia. So a little bit about the background, and then we can talk a little bit more about Netccentric.
Sure. It's actually the Bill Gates of Malaysia, a bit smaller than Asia, but still Malaysia, truly Asia, right? So my background, I'm actually a veteran internet entrepreneur. I started my first technology internet business in the year 2000. It was an online payment platform that I founded. It was called Money Online. I founded it in the year 2000. Can you imagine starting a fintech company in the year 2000, right? And then I listed the company on the Malaysian Stock Exchange when I was 23. I'm actually the youngest CEO of a listed company in Malaysia. And then further grew the company, made it into a regional venture, and then actually took it private in 2007 from the Malaysian Stock Exchange. And then went into social networking and social payments. So actually acquired Friendster, the world's pioneer social network, in 2010. And a couple of months later, actually sold Friendster's patents to another large social network. We're not going to mention what social network that was, but then a few years later, that company listed and we actually took shares in that social network. And then subsequent to that, we actually listed the whole company, Money Online, on the Nasdaq in late 2013, right?
Ganesh, that's a really impressive background. So that brings us to Netccentric. I mean, what excited you about Netccentric and taking such a big position? Because before our capital raise, you owned over 84%. You still own close to 80% of the company, which is just phenomenal, right? So tell us a little bit more about Netccentric and what you do.
Sure. So Netccentric is actually a digital growth ecosystem. We have an ecosystem of what we call marketing enablers or growth enablers. Basically digital marketing companies that actually help brands grow their business online and over e-commerce as well. So we have the largest influencer marketing platform in Malaysia. It's called Nafnang. So we're the leader in that field, and influencer marketing is actually a very growing industry. So it's expected to grow from 6 billion in 2020 to 24 billion by 2025. And we are right, and Asia Pacific is actually expected to lead that, and we are right in the hub of that growth right now. We also have recently invested in post me acquiring majority stake in Netccentric. We also invested in a live commerce platform. So live commerce is basically where people sell products via Facebook Live, which is essentially video TV shopping over Facebook. And that's also another growing industry. It's proven to have grown quite tremendously in China. And we have a platform that actually enables live commerce. So we basically get our influencers to sell products via live commerce. And we happened to launch that during the lockdown in Malaysia last year. And so we're seeing that sector of business so grow as we actually become a leader in that field through our platform as well.
And Ganesh, that brings me to the third question. I mean, eShop Live, can you tell us a little bit more about that? And you've taken a strategic stake in the business. So what attracted you to eShop Live? And tell us about, I mean, you mentioned $24 billion, the addressable market. That's a huge market, especially given that you're at the forefront in Asia. So I'd love to hear your views on that.
Sure. So let me talk first about the $24 billion influencer marketing market and why it's growing, right? So what is influencer marketing if you're not aware, or the consumers out there, the public out there is not aware? Influencer marketing is where people with a lot of fans on Facebook actually promote products, get paid to promote products on social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, right? And the reason why that's growing is over the last couple of years, because the prices or the advertising costs on marketing on platforms like Facebook have gone up. People have found that another very cost-efficient way of advertising on Facebook is actually advertising through people that have a lot of fans on Facebook, right? Whether it's celebrities, whether it is large influencers that have hundreds of thousands of fans, or whether it's nano influencers that also have proven to be very effective advertising tools. What are nano influencers? Nano influencers are people like you and me that have thousands of fans on Facebook. But if you put thousands of them, you actually have hundreds of thousands of fans, right? So what we do basically is we enable large brands, and our brands today are like KFC, Procter and Gamble, we have many large brands, to actually advertise and reach out to these influencers, and we enable them to actually use these influencers to promote their products, right? And because the cost of advertising on platforms like Facebook have gone up over the last couple of years, as their share prices have also gone up, brands are realizing that a more efficient or effective way and more cost-efficient way of advertising or promoting themselves on social media is actually through influencers. And that's why this industry has grown, and we have grown in tandem with it, right? So in the first quarter of this year, we actually announced that our revenues actually grew 40 odd percent versus quarter one of last year, right? So the industry is growing, and we are growing in that industry as well, in tandem with that.
So Ganesh, I just wanted to bring that point because that's really, really interesting. Because how do you make money? I mean, do you pay the influencers a percentage, or now do you also clip a percentage of the realized gains in terms of the GTV? Can you just explain, how do you actually make money? And you mentioned that the growth. I mean, $2.4 million last quarter, or quarter one, which is was probably one of the best quarters to date. And just talk about the growth and the opportunity as well.
Sure. So the $2.4 million is our revenue, right? It's actually our take. It's not our GMV. That's actually what we have taken, right? And we make money through influence for influencer marketing through charging ad dollars, right? So we charge advertising. We charge basically brands a cost for advertising, and we share that with the influencers, right? So generally we take about 50% and we share with the influencers 50%. Of the ad dollars that we get, right? Now that's for the marketing spend. Yeah, so when influencers actually take our product to sell, use our platform to sell products for brands, we earn a transaction fee today, right? So we earn a transaction fee when they use our platform. And as we roll out premium services, we'll also charge a percentage of sales or a subscription fee, just like a SaaS model, right? So when it comes to our live commerce platform, we're actually now providing it for free to the influencers just to get them hooked to it, just similar to how platforms like Skype provide their platform for free, right? And as they get addicted to the platform, we just build a lot of data around it. And that data we can then use to actually further promote our platform to the influencers, and also share with the brands to get them to effectively use the influencers that are most efficient for them, right? So we're essentially moving from a marketing platform to a commerce platform, right? And that's what social commerce is all about. You can look at companies like Pinduoduo in China, which have today become actually bigger than, for example, Alibaba's consumer marketplace, Taobao, right? And the reason why they become bigger is because they've been focusing on social commerce. And social commerce, people are seeing, is the next growth area within e-commerce, right? Marketplace commerce that we all know, whether buying on Amazon or in this region, Lazada or Taobao or eBay, have actually been around now for 15, 20 years, right? What's the next evolution in e-commerce is actually social commerce. Now, social commerce is when people like you and me become the provocateurs. We actually start promoting products to our fan base, right? And because Facebook is such a big platform in countries such as Malaysia, where our consumers are very social, right? We're just social creatures here. That has become a very effective way of actually promoting products and also selling products now online via live commerce.
Ganesh, about a month ago, the company announced the deal with Shopify. Now that's actually very, very significant in terms of opportunities with over 1,000 merchants. Do you want to just elaborate how that's been progressing and why that is so significant for the company?
Sure. So there are many merchants. There's actually over 1 million merchants on Shopify, right? And a lot of merchants in Southeast Asia also put their products or upload their products on Shopify. And we were getting demand from a lot of our merchants that they wanted to upload their Shopify products to our platform to enable our influencers to sell for them, right? And so we integrated to Shopify, which is a feature that our merchants wanted. And some of our merchants have done very well with us enabling this feature. And some of the merchants, their GMV have more than doubled or tripled as we actually enabled this feature, right? So these are features, and we see ourselves as the leading live commerce enabler in the region, just because we are able to integrate to a lot of these platforms. We're already API integrated to Facebook, we're API integrated to Shopify, right? And these are the two biggest platforms, commerce platforms and social platforms in the region, if not the world, right? And so we're integrated to these platforms, and we see ourselves as the enabler that localizes features, enabling influencers and brands locally to actually leverage on these two platforms to both promote themselves and also sell their products.
And Ganesh, look, we're big supporters, as I said before. I mean, why should we buy the stock? What are you excited about as running the business, and what does the business look like over the next 6 or 9 months?
Sure, I think when investing in technology stocks, it's very important to look at the next sectors of growth, or at least the next areas of growth, right? And if you look at Netccentric, we are basically a leading player in the influencer marketing and live commerce space. And influencer marketing is actually one of the fastest growing sectors within digital marketing, and live commerce one of the fastest growing sectors within e-commerce, right? And both digital marketing or online marketing or social marketing and e-commerce are the fastest growing sectors in Southeast Asia, which is actually one of the fastest growing economic regions in the world, right? And we have a large population here. Southeast Asia has 600 million people, right? So I think you should invest in us to basically invest in one of the fastest growing sectors, one of the fastest growing regions economically in the world.
Ganesh, thanks for joining us at Peak TV.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.